Hey beautiful people, I'm Sabrina and welcome to Urban Bush Babes. If you can't tell whose special guest this is here today, just take a look. It's my twin sister.
Hey UBB audience.
Hey! Her name is TJ Wonder and she's an amazing lyricist, singer, songwriter. I am her biggest fan. I remember the very first time she performed at Lyricist Poets Cafe.
I did a sex spoken word poem about how a man is wrong for not going down on a woman. It was my first spoken word piece and performance.
Okay. For you young little ladies out there, you don't need to know about any of that, okay? This is for the adult women, so if you're listening, just close your ears.
Natural.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember the first time she performed at Lyricist Poets Cafe. But she's here today. We're going to talk about her music, her traveling. She's been away. I hardly get to see her anymore because she's always overseas performing. She's an amazing artist. She's performed, well, it's true.
Like a blush of
I'm not just saying that because she's my sister. She's opened up everyone, like from Erykah Badu to Nas to Duffy, and then this past summer, her and this amazing other performance artist named Kiro
Davokoski.
Yes, they opened up for Justice and Sting. Yes, the one and only Sting.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to a little more about her and just her music and just what she's going through and what she has planned for in 2013. And yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, can you just tell us more about your music and the sound of your music?
My sound is, I would call it electronica, but it's a wide spectrum of different sounds that I work with. I can work with anything from experimental to dub to jazz to kind of crazy out there electronica. I like it all. I mean, that might be my downfall because I'm all over the place, so I can't really define the type of music that I love to do, but electronica. I rap, I sing, and I songwrite. I write all my lyrics. I know sometimes people ask me, oh, do you write your lyrics? Yes, I write my lyrics. I have a whole thing about writing your own lyrics if you're a rapper. So that's what I do, and I've had the chance to travel and go to some amazing places. I feel extremely lucky. I'm still very much an independent artist, working with some great people like Kiro Davokoski and Junior for Interesting Some Things, and the group that I have with Kissy called Wonder Kiss, and Ben Porowski's Mood Swing Orchestra, and you know, I can name on both hands the projects that I have. Like, you know, I've started working with some Brazilian producers, and we're working on a house project. So it's a lot of different things, but I like to have a good core amount of stuff that I love to work on and try to go hard at it. So that's what I've been doing lately.
Oh, that's awesome. It's really good to have you on here too, because I've been getting some comments where people are like, I didn't know you had a twin sister. I thought that was like your Sasha Fierce personality. You know, like Beyonce, she got Sasha Fierce. If I could rhyme, if I could rap the way that she rapped, every video on here would be me rapping my hair regimen, giving you advice about hair. It would all be in rhyme. So rest assured, it is not me. You can see clearly. But I just had a question. Also, too, just when you're writing, where does your inspiration come from? Do you write by listening to the music that you have to write to, or do you write the lyrics first? Like, how does it?
When I first started writing, I would just write raps without music because I used to perform spoken word, and I've been writing poetry since I was a little kid, always writing. So I would write without a beat. But then once I started getting more into music and listening to hip hop and different flows, I started writing to beats, and I would just take any beat that I liked. When I heard on the radio, I would try to find instrumental and I would write to it. I was constantly writing until I became better at my flow, especially when it came to rap. You know, I'm not a freestyler at all. I'm the person that likes to sit at home and have the music play and have time to think about what I'm writing about. So that person. So I'm not the type of person who just come off the head with something, because I think that's a talent within itself. I mean, you have some amazing freestylers out there, and I do not take their talent for granted 1 second. But that's not something I do. I'm so much more of the writer. So I like to sit at home and work on my raps and write. So definitely I like to hear the beat first, and then I become inspired by it.
Right. I think that's right there.
I said that this whole interview was going to be us telling each other if we have lipstick on our teeth. So don't mind us. If I go like this,
And I was like, okay. Okay. I have these little papers here. Well, actually, I wrote all these questions down because I didn't want to forget any of the questions that I had for her. And then she came all prepared, more prepared than I did. I had them all typed up. I was like, oh, can I actually get these questions? I just don't want to forget anything. Also, too, actually a fun little question I had. What was the most embarrassing moment that you've had performing on stage?
Well, the one that clearly stands out is anyone who sees me perform overseas knows that I like to get close to the audience. As soon as I do sound check, I'm always looking for a way to get off the stage and connect with the audience. You know, I love when the audience is like right there in front of the stage. So I think it was Spain, and opening for Manu Chao, and you know, I was running off the stage, and on the side of the stage was this kind of barrier, but it was a long pole that was sticking out in the ground. So I jumped it, going to dance in front of the crowd, but when I came back, I completely forgot about the pole. So let's just say, this is me running in to get back on stage. I was this way, and then the ground, that way. I was eating dirt. That's what I was doing. It was going to my nostrils and my nose, and, you know, Kirill's road manager, and comes running over, he's like, oh my God, are you okay, you're okay? I was like, yes, I'm fine, I have to get back on stage. And then I just like popped back up and like ran back up. See what I'm so embarrassing moments. You're gonna have flying projectile in this interview. It's a ring that won't stay on, which is why I never wear it when I'm out. I thought I'd wear it today in the interview. It's fallen off 4 times already.
And I had asked before we started filming, I was like, is that thing gonna fly off?
And it sure did. Flying projectile when you interview TK Wonder. So yeah, that was by far one of my most embarrassing moments.
Okay. And out of all the places that you traveled to, which has been your favorite place? Because you've been to so many places. Like, what are the places that you've been to?
Places I've been to, Macedonia. And I always say Macedonia for me right now feels like my second home, because this is where Kirill lives. And when I come up for shows, or if we have a string of shows in Macedonia, I stay out there. So I almost feel like Macedonia is my second home. But I've been to Macedonia, Croatia, Slovenia, Germany, France, where else? New Caledonia, which is about 3 hours away from Australia, and Serbia. Yeah, it's been quite a few places. I definitely have favorite moments in probably each country that I've visited. I don't want to say like necessarily what's my favorite, because you know, I love them all. I think the one that probably left the biggest imprint on me since I last left was New Caledonia, just because I've never been to a place that looked like that before. It was really majestic, and near Australia, which is one place I really want to go, but probably New Caledonia for me, because it was like 80 degrees, and here in New York it was pretty cold at the time. Well, it's still cold now, but yeah, so New Caledonia.
New Caledonia. And also too, I forgot to ask, when you write, what do you mostly like to write about? Because I know a lot of, you know, lyricists or rappers have their thing that they like to write.
Well, I like to write about social issues, things that are important to me. I think when I first started writing, I was a big, I still am, I'm a huge New York Times fan, so I'm always reading the paper, reading up on current events, because that's where I find my inspiration. Like, you know, anyone who listens to my lyrics, if you listen closely, you'll hear a lot of political and social commentary. Even if I'm talking about love, you know, I'll still throw some one-liners in about that, because that's probably my biggest connection, what interests me as a writer, especially when it comes to lyrics. When it comes to writing love, I always used to be against writing love until I fell in love, because I was like, love songs are the hardest songs to write. Actually, they're the easiest songs to write, which is probably why there's so many damn love songs out there.
And heartbreak songs.
Yeah, and heartbreak songs. They're, you know, they're the greatest inspiration, because you're feeding off of your emotions. But even if I do write something like that, I always try to maybe put a spin on it, or make it unique in some way that I feel it's unique anyway.
Right. So no, sex and diamonds and
no
cars.
Well, I can't rap about it because I don't have it. So maybe if I had it, it'd be a different POV. But I'm still an independent artist. Let's keep it real. Open up for Sting Justice. That is great. Holla, but still I gotta pay my rent and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really can't talk about it because I'm not living that life.
So name some artists that you would love to perform with. If you could name your top 3 or 4.
Definitely. I mean, I think there's a difference far as like working with people and opening up for. I think in regards to your question, opening up for Baraka Sam Systema, Diplo, and Outkast. I like Outkast in particular just because they're lyricists as well, but their music can cross different genres, which is, they've been my favorite for a long time, among other people, but those are probably my top 3 to open up for. I've definitely had top 3 favorites that I have already opened up for.
Right.
Those would be Prodigy, Sting, and Nas.
Okay.
Should I give the reasons why? Or?
Go ahead, girl. I want to know.
I think Sting, because Sting is one of my favorite artists. I don't get starstruck over many people, but our backstage was adjacent to Sting, and he was so cool, and just you can feel his energy, and when he's on stage, his show is impeccable. So for me as an artist, observing that and watching it, it's besides a learning experience, it's really fun.
Right.
I was like singing almost all the words. I'm a big Sting fan. So that was probably my favorite part about that.
And also too, I'll include the link because I have like behind the scenes of her with a picture with you and Sting and just all your behind the scenes of that tour.
Okay.
So if you guys want to check it out, you can just come to our site. So I'll include the link in this video in the description box.
Yeah. Then Prodigy. Prodigy opened up for a few years ago. I can't remember which country it was, but Prodigy for me has always been a really great band just because if anyone's seen them live, they are so energetic and inspiring, and that's what I'm all about when I perform on stage. I'm like all over the place, look like a crazy one, twirling, jumping in, high kicking.
With your Betty Davis high kick, that's what reminds me of when you kick your leg up. Betty Davis.
Thank goodness I haven't had an embarrassing moment where my leg just went up too high and then my ass went on the ground. Went on the ground. But So Prodigy, Sorry, I'm talking to my sister. I feel like I'm not in an interview. Like we're just conversing. It's being recorded, so I feel like I could talk for myself. Sorry, young ones, Anyway, so Prodigy is so fun and energetic to watch on stage, so I really take notes when I observe them, but they were great. And then Nas opened up for him at Hunter College, and Nas is one of my favorite rappers just because of the content that he talks about and his flow as well. So it was really a great honor to be asked to open up for him at Hunter. But we had a fiasco because the music for the set wasn't playing. So
I was there.
I was so livid because for me at that time that was kind of like my first big show, and I was livid. But I had to do the whole show a cappella, and
she made it work.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, things like that happen, and you have to do the best with what's given to you. And even though I was really upset, I still did the show, and I did it a cappella, and actually ended up probably working better because I feel like people really got a chance to understand all the lyrics and hear what I was saying.
Right.
A lot of times with rapping, when I perform, people can't understand me because sometimes mics, I don't know, I rap really fast and it's very difficult to hear all the words I'm saying. So
especially when you be rapping a dictionary, because she is very, very, some of the words that come out of my mouth, I'll be like, pull up my little pocket dictionary. What is that? Yeah, oh gosh. Yeah.
Not as much anymore because I want people to understand what I'm saying. I don't want to be
But that's a compliment.
Yeah. So, and then after the show, seeing Nas and getting all the feedback, it was just great. So those are probably my top 3 openings.
And I will include a link to that video in the description box because I actually taped that show. And
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
It was incredible.
Thank you. I know. It's so great. I'm her #1 fan.
Sister. Oh man, this interview is so silly. Okay, so that's it, y'all. We're bringing it to a wrap. I just wanted to really bring my sister on here, TK Wonder. Since so many of you have been asking, can you talk to her? Can you bring her on here? Can you ask her some questions? And so we're just going to break this down actually in 2 parts. So the second part, we're going to go more into the industry side of the music. And we're going to talk about, you know, some close calls that involve, you know, some heavy hitter players like Jay-Z and Q-Tip. I know you want to hear about this. I already know, but I know you want to hear. And then also going more into like her being a female in the game and, you know, the perception that she wants people to have of her and just a few other things like the industry side. The industry side. It's the dirty side. Yeah. But the positive side.
Not too dirty.
Not too dirty.
Not too dirty.
Not too dirty.
You're silly when we're together.
Sister.
She don't get that.
No. Okay, anyway. Okay, so that's it. You can join us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You can join us on our website, UrbanBushBabes.com. And that's it. So we're going to see you again soon for part 2.
Thank you for having me.
Peace.